It's loosened up a little bit because with the drubbing of the price of gold and silver, business has slowed down. Look, I believe in being completely transparent with everyone who I talk to, whether it be you offline or to the whole internet, as we're doing right now. When you see 2+ weeks of counterintuitive beatdowns in an environment where we would expect gold and silver to do well, it wreaks havoc. Now, you have to remember something. One of the things that I've talked about, I think, pretty transparently, is the expansion. I always talked about the expansion of the choir out into the auditorium and maybe even across the street. You have an expansion of people who are coming into this industry. And a good portion of that expansion, I believe, somewhere near the silver squeeze time, were people who entered this space perhaps for slightly different reasons. People out there who've listened to me know I never talk about buying silver or gold to become wealthy. I buy it because it is wealth. I own it because it is the only immutable wealth that has outlived 2 world wars, German hyperinflation, the Great Depression, and every pandemic. I buy it because in all of the uncertainty that we see right now, gold is an island of safety. When we see gold reclassified tier 1, it's tier 1 in the respect of being wealth. And to me, that's how I've always looked at it. But I think a good portion of the people have become disenchanted with buying an investment that hasn't made them rich in an environment where it should. And I think they've lost the passion, if you will, for accumulating metal in an environment that, frankly, if you've been in it long enough, as you and I have, you understand the volatility, the suppression, the manipulation. But look, I'm going to simply say this. In all the years I've done this, then again, there has never been a greater reason to believe owning gold and silver is a must in every portfolio. People out there need to change their perception of it and maybe even their expectations. It is not an investment that you buy to get wealthy. It is an investment that you buy that is wealth. And I think a lot of people have become a little bummed out about buying something that has either gone sideways or down in an environment where it should take off. But if you take a step back and realize, why is it being held down with such great strength and ferocity? Because I think that we're getting very close to the end game. And rising gold will only hasten the demise of the dollar and hasten people's concern to get out of the dollar. So, yes, it's getting a little bit easier, but ironically, premiums aren't coming down. So while I maybe don't have quite as much competition in the wholesale community to buy large amounts, premiums aren't coming down at all on anything, and in some cases they're going up. So it's not it's not like everything's gone back to normal. I mean, quite to the contrary. It's just 10% easier than it was this time 2 months ago. But here again, how quickly will that change? How quickly will that change when many of the things that we've been talking about for such a long time happen? And again, I keep going back and back and back to the dollar being perilously close to losing its petrol reserve status. When that moment happens, it's going to be a waterfall event in so many of these markets that people will immediately realize the importance of precious metals, and everything that we've been talking about instantly happens just like that. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm talking in circles or not, simply to say that, yes, it's a tiny bit easier, but the premiums haven't come down. So as far as I'm concerned, it's very negligible at best in terms of how it translates into meaningful acquisition benefits to the public.